Hey everyone, welcome back if you've been here before, and a big shout out and welcome to all of my newbies. I am Deshe, this is Designed by Deshe, and it is day 4 of Glam Christmas week, so I'm bringing you guys 3 different present boxes that I'm making out of square wreath forms from Dollar Tree. I'd seen people make boxes before, and I had the horrible and amazing idea to cut out all of the squares and see if I could make 3 different boxes for the price of 1. So that's what I did. A couple of them did split because they're thin, so I just used clear tape to put them back together. In the end, I had 15 squares in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large, and I'm starting with the smallest present box first. Since this box is actually going to have some weight to it because I'm decorating it using 12 craft mirror squares, I traced out some cardboard from an old box and I'm going to join that to these wreath squares using twine because I don't have any zip ties right now and I couldn't find any pipe cleaners, so I did this version. If you don't have anything else, you can always do this, but I highly recommend you using something easier because after separating all of these wreath squares and then having to use twine to tie all of the cardboard to the wreath forms and then use the twine to also join the box together, my poor hands were so sore, but it was worth it. So I'm moving on to the decoration portion. And to keep this box kind of open, I did just put some styrofoam in there just to kind of help it hold its shape and not fall over while I decorate. And these are the mirror squares that I was talking about just a few moments ago. If you have seen my cube storage to upholstered bar flip, then you will recognize these. I only had 12 of them on hand, so I will only be decorating 3 sides of the box and leaving the back bare. That actually ended up working out, and I will show you guys why later on. But for right now, I only have 4 squares per side. And so I'm putting those in the corners and then I'm going to trace them out because I'm going to run my ribbon through the side of my present box, you know, as if I'm going to tie it up. And then the rest is going to be mirror reflective tape. So that's what I'm doing right now, just kind of measuring out to make sure that there's going to be enough, like that the ribbon is wide enough to cover what I need it to cover. And it is. So now I'm just tracing the mirror squares out so that I will have a guide for where to glue my ribbon. Before I glue my ribbon into place, I am going to put my mirror reflective tape down. I do have like 2 mirror reflective sheets and then I have a little bit of mirror reflective paper on a roll, but I don't have much of either. It's all left over. So I'm going to need those for bigger parts of these present boxes. So for these small little spaces like this, I'm just using my mirror reflective tape, which works just as well. And you know, as long as I'm using that line as a guide, it's really easy to apply. So that's a nice little hack. If you don't have a lot of paper, you can always pick this up. These rolls do come in a lot of different widths. So I'm using my smallest right now. And now that that's down in play, I'm just going to go ahead and get that Snowflake ribbon glued down. This ribbon did come from Walmart. Everything that I'm using here, I either came from Dollar Tree, Walmart, or I had it on hand. And I will definitely link the things that I already had on hand in the description box because I do believe everything came from Amazon. So I will be sure to include that if you guys want to use the same materials that I did in this project. So yes, as soon as I go ahead and get the last of the ribbon glued into place, I'm going to apply my mirror squares into those corners, just kind of slightly overlapping this ribbon, and I'm going to apply those with a generous amount of hot glue. So I'm really pleased with how everything is turning out so far, so I'm just trimming away this ribbon, and then I will repeat these steps on the other 2 sides of the box that I'll be decorating before moving on to creating the box top. So I'm using a super simple method to create the top of the box, and the other two boxes are going to be using a similar method as well. I am covering my little strips that are going to serve as the sides of the box top. I'm covering those with the mirror reflective tape, again, because, these are really small, and I only need two little strips, and it covers really well, and I love that you really can't see the seam, so it looks continuous, and that's always a plus. So I'm just making that look pretty and, tucking the sides and trimming away any of the excess. And I'm going to do that for the other strips as well. I did cover 4, but I'm only going to be using 3, and I'll explain that later. So this is the other wreath form square that I joined together with cardboard, and I am covering that entire thing with one big mirror reflective sheet. This reflects a lot smoother than just mirror reflective paper. It has more of a mirrored finish, so that's perfect for this box because this one is actually using mirrors. So I'm getting as close as I can without having to spend a lot more money. This mirror reflective sheet was also left over from that upholstered bar flip that I did, and so it was the last whole sheet that I had, so it really was perfect for this because it was the last of everything. And so now I'm just going to glue everything together, only 3 sides, leaving the back bare, and I'm doing that because I decided that I wanted to give this box a hinging effect so that I can stuff it with my winter florals and little decorations, so that's why I'm only going to be doing 3 sides. Once everything was assembled, I placed the box top on the box, but I didn't tie anything into place. I wanted to do most of the decorating first, just so that I didn't mess anything up. And what I'm doing here is I'm lining up the ribbon with the ribbon that's on the side of the box already, and I'm gluing that into place. And so I just kind of wanted to make sure that everything would be even and continuous, just like a normal present, so that, the presentation would be clean. And now I'm just going to trim away all of the excess ribbon and glue everything down into place so that it's nice and neat before moving on to adding a bit more styrofoam to the box to build it up so that I'll have a base to stuff ultimately. And then I will be tying the top into place with that hinging effect. And while you guys are watching me make that, I just want to talk to you a little bit. Have you liked and subscribed to my channel yet? If you haven't, please do so. I am, constantly coming out with new things, and your support is everything to me. So, please, share it around. And if there's anything that you'd like to see me make, please feel free to let me know what you want in the comments, or you can private message me on any of my other social media. This is day 4 of Glam Christmas week. If you haven't been following along, feel free to go and check out that playlist to see what I made Monday through Wednesday. And please pop in tomorrow. I will be debuting my Ice Queen Christmas tree, and I know you guys are going to love it. Now that my box is built and my hinge is working, I'm going to move on to doing some light stuffing on this. I don't have a lot of winter white things going on. I've used a lot of it in other projects, but I do have a couple of these white Dollar Tree mini trees available, and I think those are going to kind of be perfect to just pop out. They're reminding me of, those definite snow-covered branches, and then I have a couple of glitter picks left over, so nothing too major, but I made it look cute, and I'm going to let you guys see that. I took a few of my silver glitter picks and cut them down to individuals and spread them around, and then I took some more and kind of put them on the sides, and then I took this silver glitter star ornament from Dollar Tree and I draped it over one of the branches that it dangled in the center. And I love how that part turned out. I do have some offsetting rose gold colors in there. Not sure about them, but I'm leaving them for the moment. I did make a bow off camera and glued it to the top, and I thought it turned out so cute. I was done after all of that, but the next morning I did get up and glue in some blue Dollar Tree bling wrap along the corners and edges because I didn't like how rough they had turned out and how, they weren't connected. So I did that just to clean them up a bit. And because the blues are not the exact same color, I did add some of that bling wrap diagonally across the top of the box to help tie it all together. And that's it. I love how that one turned out, guys. And that's the first, and I would say the most complex, and it's definitely a lot of people's favorites. I'm going to move on to the next two, and then you guys can decide which one you liked best at the end. I'm now moving on to my largest present box, and this one is going to be a bit quicker and easier because I'm not going to reinforce this with cardboard. It is only going to be wrapped in tinsel, so it doesn't need that extra reinforcement, and I am not using that twine again. I did find a package of metallic Christmas pipe cleaners, so I'm using the silver ones since that's going to blend in really well with the silver tinsel. Just a quick note, I am taking extra time to wrap this tinsel around, and I'm, adding some extra twists and definitely some extra pulls because even though this isn't going to be reinforced, I do want it to be stable, so pull it really tight to make sure that it's going to hold that shape. Instead of using my 5th wreath square as a base for the box top like I did in the mirrored present box, I'm actually going to be using that as extra stability on the bottom. So I'm adding it now and using the existing pipe cleaners to twist it into place, and then I'm going to flip that to the bottom so that it'll be sturdier and it'll stand up easier on its own. And I'm going to start adding the tinsel. I did pick this up from Walmart, and I tried a couple of different ways first, but what I found to be the easiest way is to kind of like wrap it while it's on its side. And doing it this way will help to hold the tinsel in place on the bottom, like using the weight of the frame to keep it where it's supposed to be while you're wrapping. It did take 4 packs of tinsel, sorry guys. If you want a more fuller look, I would definitely say get like 6 to 8. I kind of had to stretch it. My original plan was to wrap the entire frame in tinsel and then just kind of wind the ribbon around there, but because it didn't have enough, I had to do this hack. So you're seeing me struggle with this. I wanted to leave this in so that you can see that this is kind of a frustrating process. While it is really easy, you just need to pull your tinsel tight, but not too tight because it will break. But keeping it kind of taut as you go will help to keep it in place. And so I'm adding my second package now, and then after that I'm going to add the ribbon in the middle. That's going to help me stretch it out, and then I will be adding 2 more packs of tinsel on the opposite side of the ribbon once we get there. And now I'm adding this gorgeous velvet ribbon that I picked up from Walmart. It is 30 feet. I did use a lot of this in tomorrow, the big finale for Glam Christmas week. So be sure to tune in so that you can see what I did with that. You guys are going to love that Ice Queen tree. So, I'm sorry, I know I can't shut up about it, but I really think you guys are going to love it. But for this, I did just add a touch of hot glue and then created kind of like a little fold over, and I glued the ribbon to itself. And now it's going to go around the frame, and I'm going to glue it to each of the wreath squares as I go, and then I'm going to pull it tight and glue the ribbon to itself. This is a great little hack to help stretch that tinsel like I mentioned because, well, this ribbon was going to go on top of it anyway, so there's no point in, adding the tinsel underneath if you're never going to see it, especially whenever I can use it to finish out the project. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm just going to add the last 2 packs of tinsel to fill this up, and then I will move on to making that box top. Now, I'm not showing you guys super in depth because this is a super similar process to the last box top I made. The only difference is that, again, it's not connected to a wreath square. It's just a measured piece of cardboard that is wrapped in mirror reflective paper this time, a little bit of the leftover that I had on the roll instead of the mirror reflective sheet. And it's the exact same process with the side strips. I'm just gluing those into place, and those were covered in mirror reflective tape. And then I'm just going to pop it on to make sure that it fits, and then I'm going to move on to the rest of the decoration. I was able to confirm that the top fit, so now I'm just finishing out the decorations on the box. I'm making that cross ribbon effect, and to do so, I'm just taking a bead of hot glue, just like on the last one. I'm doing a fold over and then gluing the ribbon to itself. I already did that on the other side of the frame, so now I'm just kind of pulling this tight and gluing it in so that it'll look like a nice little present. I'm going to do that on all 4 sides and then flip the box back over and start working on glamming up the top. Alright, so this part is going to go a little quickly since you've seen most of this on the last box. I'm just going to continue that ribbon pattern, making sure that they all line up so that everything is nice and neat, and gluing them down to place. I'm going to pop a pretty little bow on here that I again made off camera using my usual method. You guys aren't missing anything from what I've done in any of my other projects if you've already seen them. If not, be sure to check out my shorts and minis where I have 2 different bows in there. This is usually the method I use, so yeah, if you're looking for something a little more in depth or to get an idea I do, feel free to check those out. I did decide that since this is Glam Christmas week and I want these present boxes to really pop, I cut out some Dollar Tree white bling wrap, and I'm going to glue that along the edge of the box top, and then I'm also going to add those bling accents diagonally across the top, just like I did on the last box since I switched. That's actually an effect that I am going to use on the 3rd box as well, just to add something that keeps them all kind of the same, even though they're all going to be wildly different. So yeah, while you guys are watching me, finish out that part, I'm going to ask you again, if you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, to please do so. I really appreciate it, and as you can see, I'm working hard to bring you guys some good stuff, so show your girl some love. After I got the bow in place, I decided to lean really hard into this kind of like dripping in diamonds effect that I had going on. So I cut out some single strands of bling wrap, and I'm just kind of casually draping them over the loops in the bow. I'm not gluing them into place, but this is going to add another little pop of luxury and glam and a little bit of sparkle whenever the light hits it right. And you know, why not? It is Glam Christmas week after all. So with that little accent done, I just added a couple of little pieces from a glitter pick that I had left over, and I'm just kind of shaping those up so that they kind of curl up off of the bow, and that is it, guys. I love how this present turned out. This one I think might actually be my personal favorite, but if I'm being honest, it changes day to day. So after we finish the 3rd one, you guys can let me know what you think. So my last box is my medium-sized one, and this is going to go really quickly since a lot of these steps are repeated. So I'm using the pipe cleaner method to put this together, and then I'm going to take some of these little foam sheets that I have. I cannot for the life of me remember where I got them. It was a million years ago. It's an assorted pack of like 50 or 100, so I'll find something comparable and link it in the description. but I'm using a floral pick to make 4 holes, 2 on each side, and then unfortunately I am back to the horrible twine because the pipe cleaners were going to be too thick, but it's not much, so it's okay. I'm just going to attach those to the base with maybe 2 inches on either side because I'm going to use the white sheets as a border. So this one was actually really fun because it's really different. Whenever I set out to make it, I really did not have a vision in mind. I just kind of wanted to do something different, kind of funky, and I wanted to see if I could use these sheets. And then as I started kind of putting everything together, it came to me, I was like, what if I did ugly Christmas sweater, except made it glam, except made it a present box? So this one is kind of wild. It's really different, and honestly, it's one of the reasons why I love it so much because it's something completely different from anything I've ever done, and it somehow looks different from everything else but also matches. So I'm really excited to see what you guys think about this one, and I hope that you'll let me know in the comments. Now that I have my white border all glued into place, I decided to use some of the leftover blue and white snowflake ribbon and use that to cover up some of the rough edges. And I purposely was not being like super exact on this because, like I said, I wanted it to look a little off, like a little kind of thrown together, like not as polished. So you'll see what I mean. I'm not keeping these lines straight. I'm kind of just letting it fall as it falls. And yeah, you'll see how it all comes together in the end. So I had just enough of these Dollar Tree silver glitter and kind of like opaque metallic ornaments to add to the exterior of the box. I really think it's going with this whole ugly Christmas sweater glam-esque theme that I got coming together now. And so I'm also going to add some of these silver glitter snowflake ornaments that I got from Walmart. If you have been keeping up with Glam Christmas Week, specifically yesterday's, icy carriage centerpiece, then you will recognize both the snowflakes and the snowflake ribbon. If you have not seen that video, please go and check it out because that is one of my favorites from the week. I'm now just adding some bling wrap to finish out this nice little sparkly border, and that's going to be it for this side. I am going to repeat these steps on 2 other sides of the box. I am leaving the back side blank on this one as well, just to kind of conserve my material. And then we will move on to decorating the top. I like it, guys. I think it's coming out so cute already. So I did skip the rest of the process because you guys have seen that and you don't need to watch it again. It is the exact same as the last box. So I'm just adding my diagonal bling accents, and I did do a cross ribbon effect on this one, but I don't have enough ribbon left over to make a bow. As a matter of fact, this is why I didn't have much ribbon left over for yesterday's video because I used it all in these projects. So in place of a ribbon, I did have the idea to just use the last of the ornaments and create a little ornament tower instead of a bow. And I think it worked out really well, especially since this is my shabby chic glam ornament box anyway. So I'm just going to kind of speed through this process and let you guys watch how I put it together. And now to glue on the last ornament in this beautiful shiny tower. I love how this turned out, guys. I really did not know what to expect whenever I started out, but my little shabby chic glam like ornament box turned out to be beautiful. And I love all 3 of these boxes, especially as a set. There is something very unique about each and every one of them, but there are similarities that hold them all together, and I love that. I love projects where I get to just kind of dig deep into my creativity and my imagination and just see what happens. So this was so much fun for me. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. I hope that you were able to take some inspiration for this, and I hope that at the very least you were entertained. So, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. It really means a lot if you would like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in to day 4 of Glam Christmas Week. And for the last time, tomorrow is our grand finale. I am building up to my gorgeous Ice Queen Christmas tree. I have never done anything like it. It is the most glam and over-the-top tree I've ever had, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So, as always, I am Audrey Deshe. This is Designed by Deshe, and I will see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Have a great holiday season.